Good morning, everyone. Happy 248th day, America. I almost want to sing. I might. Let's get this intro rolling.
Network broadcast. You can find us on Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV, Facebook, and of course YouTube. Get all your NFL news here first.
Here locally in the community. Make sure y'all go check out Kneecap Body by Jeremy Jones.
Good afternoon, everybody. It is America's birthday, the 248th birthday. Celebrating our independence signed on this day with the Declaration of Independence on July 4th, 1776. Some of us have actually signed that blank check, joined the military of our own fruition to defend it. And kudos to everyone who has and everyone who ever will. But that being said, I'm hoping we get more watchers than one. Where's everybody at? Man, I understand it's a holiday. There's a lot of barbecues, cookouts, family reunions, and everything else, and people are traveling. I kind of figured this might be a little bit of a dead end show. But I was a guest earlier at 8 a.m. on Kurt Steele's uh, Boss Up or Ball Out podcast. And he asked a great question, and I'm going to put it to you guys. It was, who is the most important on this roster other than the QB that if we lost him, we'd be in trouble? And I looked at last year and who played the most snaps where and who had the biggest impact when they were off the field. Good good afternoon there, Mr. Henry. How are you today, sir? God bless you and happy 4th to you. And I actually replied, I think that the biggest loss that we could have this season is if anything happens to Frank Ragnow. We lost him for 6 games last year. We won one of those 6 games. It goes to show you that without the captain of the O-line, and he's the one that calls out the protections to everybody else when he gets them from Goff, you seen what happened. We kind of fell apart. And on defense, I say it's Aiden Hutchinson. He played 91% of the defensive snaps last year. And while everybody gripes that Comiskey had a down year, that's because he was backing up Aiden Hutchinson. He only played 9% of the snaps, so of course he's going to have a lot less of that. But that's also why we didn't give him starter money. We gave him $3.9 million to be here. So it's not that big of a deal. And if Hutchinson improves again, because everybody said, oh, he's going to have a sophomore slump, and he had better stats last year. And most people make a big jump in the third year. I expect big things. I expect double digit sacks again, probably even more so than last year because he's got better defensive interior help for Lee McNeil, which should alleviate some of that pressure to the outside. It took 4 weeks to see my first article with somebody complaining that DJ Reader won't be here till the second week of camp. And I was like, man, we've known that for a month now, and now we're finally seeing the negatives of it. I said it was a negative from the get go. But at the same time, he was already rehabbing from his injury, and now his wife has a baby due. And I don't know how the baby's being born. If it's cesarean, he has to be home to help her with said baby. So she's having a baby within this time, and I think it's due any day now, which is why he won't be at camp to start. It's not because he's not healthy, it's because he can't be there because his wife needs him. Because I think it's the first 3 to 4 weeks, they're not supposed to lift anything more than a gallon of milk, which is 8 pounds, and your average baby is 8 pounds. But you're only supposed to lift it. You're not supposed to carry it. You're not supposed to walk with it. You're not supposed to do any of that. So, as a father, he's doing what he's supposed to do as a husband and a father. And I applaud that for him. And a lot of people don't take that into effect. I'm just saying, let him be. Marcus Davenport, on the other hand, we don't know when he's going to return. I don't even know if he's worked out with the team yet. I know he's worked out with the rehab and the strength and conditioning people, but not with the team stuff. So we don't know about his injury and how long he's going to be, and if he's even going to be back before possibly October. There's been no reports yet about Davenport. But yes, I think that it's Ragnow, then Hutchinson, then if the only other guy I don't want anything ever happening to is Sewell. He is the heart and soul of this team, and I get that that's what the beat writer said. But at the same time, he's my third option for not missing somebody to me. I got it Ragnow, Hutchinson, then Sewell. And then on defense, I want nothing to happen to Brian Branch. What say you guys? Man, everybody's disappearing. All I got here is you, man, Henry. You still there? How's everything going with your kid? I hope everything's going well with his new job. So, Bleacher Report wrote the article saying the Lions would make a trade for Bubba Baker. Did anybody actually see the trade proposal? It's actually got awful. Saying the Lions would trade. Listen to everything they're giving up. Hey, they're as he should. And it's earned with the type of position he got into. But the trade proposal that the guy at Bleacher Report wrote, and I think he honestly hit some really good herb to come up with this one. We send DPJ, Craig Reynolds, Hendon Hooker, and a third round pick to Dallas. Dallas sends Brendan Cooks, their third round pick and their fifth round pick, to Arizona, and all we get is Bubba Baker. I think that would destroy the team. I think it's ludicrous. That trade to me makes about as much sense as wiping your butt than going to take the crap. Again, I cannot show this enough. Happy birthday, America. It feels weird without my usuals in here chirping and talking. Probably celebrating the 4th or hungover from shooting off fireworks last night. It's nice to see that the people I go help on the other channels pop in just to say hi and shoot a message. But I love them anyways. I don't expect that out of anybody because I'm built different. I go in, I take their abuse. I go in, I make my comments. I try to keep the shows rolling because it's what I do. I heard the best dad joke told yesterday, and it was on a morning talk show out of San Francisco. King SJ, how is Canada? You had Canada Day the other day, which also coincides with the Bobby Bonilla Day, because on July 1st, 24 years ago, Bobby Bonilla signed that lifetime contract where he's still making $1 million a year right now. Kurt Steele, what up, though? Yes, I used your topic as my first question of the day, and nobody's answered. But I did throw Panay Sewell in there too, because you're right. After Frank Ragnow, if Panay Sewell goes down, we're kind of screwed. But what up, though? Good to see you here, my man. And I wasn't even poking fun at you because you mentored me and are one of the reasons I'm here doing this today. I think I do it a lot better than I did 4 years ago. But I'm still going strong. How's your How's your boy doing? Go look at Toledo 11 and see the guy that got arrested for selling fireworks out of his garage yesterday. I'll check that out right after the show, Matt Henry. But yeah, I think the other than QB, yes, sir. July 1st is my 4th of July. It is. I knew that. That's why I wanted to make sure I told you that because July 1st was a Sunday and I wasn't alive. Thank you. What's weird though is what a lot of people don't realize is our military is 1 year older than our country. Because without our military forming in 1775, which was the Marines, the Army, and the Navy, we don't have a country in 1776. We're still a part of Britain. So happy 249th day birthday to the corps of our military branches, Army, Navy, Marines. They all were formed on July 5th in 1775. So it's a preemptive birthday, but it is their birthday. So what's everybody's plans? Are you doing a barbecue or a cookout? Because Kurt Steele said it best. A cookout's an event. It's like a party. It's almost like a family reunion for everybody to bring a dish to pass. There's music, there's all of that. Or you just go into the family barbecue where you guys sit around, bullshit, drink beer, and have fun, and then go watch fireworks. The cookout is the summertime block party type thing. Like everybody's getting ready to head either up north, out of town, or do something. I'm probably gonna watch some fireworks tonight, but probably go for the big show after work Saturday that they have up at Bay City. Because here in Michigan, if you haven't experienced the Bay City fireworks, it's the best in the state. I've been to Grand Rapids, I've been to Lansing, I've been to Detroit, I've been to Traverse City, I've been to Mackinac, I've been to Alpena on the 4th of July. I've been to Oscoda as a kid. The best ones are Bay City. Best bang for your buck. I do suggest going early in the day, camping out, and leaving late. Good to see everybody here. Don't forget to hit a like on your way out. Share this with all your Lions pages you're a part of. Share it on Facebook, Twitter, your Instagram, wherever. If you're not on if you're on Instagram, you might even have a threads like me. Share it to your threads. I put it there too. But I had a blast with Kurt Steele this morning. I like that. It was a short microcosm show. We did 30 minutes, and I like it because it was hit, bang, bang, attack comments. Okay, we out. But I also like the hour long format too. I like to interact with you guys. I prefer when I get comments. I wonder if I'm missing comments. I've had that happen. Nope, so far that I haven't missed a comment. Just double checking. What a week. And I can't believe it's July 4th already. This year is half over. Think about that, people. Yeah, it feels like it just started. The year's half over. We're just a few short weeks away from preseason football. College football starts up soon. It's crazy to think that football season is almost upon us, and it's about time. As the nights start to get that little chill to the air, you don't quite see your breath, but your hair raises up if you go out with a short sleeve shirt. The sleeping weather gets better. Yeah, hard to believe it's the second half of 2024. Every year, it's like it goes by even faster. So, what do you think about it, King SJ? Who are your top non QB guys? One offense, one defense that you'd hate to lose due to an injury or something like that. That's good to know, Brent DeWitt. Thank you for your service, sir. So I have to change something that I just realized. We hit 460 subs this morning. 40 away. 40 more, we'll do our giveaway, regardless of fan base you're with. You can get a piece of sports memorabilia custom made by Dan Leonard. So here we go. It's Ask the Host time. Ask whatever you want, whether it's about the Lions, about sports in general. Hell, I'm good. The O line in generally was kind of what I had in mind before you and Kurt gave your takes this morning. Yep. I think anybody on that O line, starter wise, it could hinder this team a lot. I do have one topic I didn't tackle last. No, I did tackle it. I tackled it right away, but no one was here. That's what it was. It's been quite a run to this point, and I'm proud to the fans that come in here almost every day. Brent DeWitt, you're one of them. King SJ, you're another. Uh, James Burgess usually pops in, especially on the night shows. Yep, both sides of the trenches are pretty important non QB factors because both of them make the difference in whether you win and lose on defense or offense. Without the O line, the offense will not be as effective. Without the D line, the defense can't be as effective. Period. We've all seen it. When's the last time we had great trench play? 2014. I can't believe we had the second best run defense with the O line we had in that last year. But that's what gives me hope for this year because we added players behind them that are better against the run statistically, better tackling. I just the tackling alone improves this defense. And people don't realize how much that is. How many times have we see Jerry Jacobs bouncing off a guy as they ran past him? How many times we see Kendall Vildor get beat in a contested catch and fall to the ground or leap for the ball and miss it and leave the guy wide open and then the safeties can't get the guy because he's too fast because he wasn't slowed down by the corner. And God forbid, we know Cam Sutton couldn't even tackle his shadow when it was on the ground. He led the league in passing yards against at 858 yards. I mean, most of that came from week 7 on after he got hurt, but at the same time, it still happened. The only guys we could count on tackling last year in the secondary was Brian Branch, Kirby Joseph, Tracy Walker, and Ifeatu Melifonwu. Couldn't trust Gardner Johnson because every time he made a tackle, he'd back it up with a penalty. That was the main reason I didn't want him back. Yeah, 2021 is when we started calling him Anali's their King SJ. And now it's different. Now he's getting sacks. He's had 3 sacks in the past 2 seasons. And Paul Jones, welcome back, good sir. Good to see you. I can't say it enough. Happy birthday, America. Happy 4th of July. I hope you all celebrate our independence however you see fit. If you drink, drink. If you don't, don't. If you want to have fun and just watch fireworks, you can do that. If you want to barbecue, if you want to have a cookout, you want to go sit at the beach with your toes in the water and your ass in the sand, you're good with me. Brian Branch at safety, baby. This defense is deep. I know. And I've said this before, and I'm going to say it again. In my 45 years of watching this team, I have not seen a deeper roster. I'm not saying it's the most talented. It's the deepest roster with depth of talent. Gun guy, God bless America. God bless you, gun guy. 100%. I have yet to see my gun go out and shoot somebody or anyone's gun that's been laying there. People kill people. Guns don't kill anybody. They're just a tool used to do it. There are more knife wounds in America than gunshots. You are more likely to be in a car accident than to get shot with a gun. I don't care where you live. It's a fact. Yep, absolutely, Brent DeWitt. The way he's improved in this defense every year, and I think it was the confidence of being a starter and them not moving on from him after a bad season. I think he got that confidence. And also the change with Kelvin Shepard as the linebacker coach. I think that made a huge difference. Mark DeLeon never belonged here. I have Real American on repeat all day. USA, USA. And I think you're talking about the old Hulk Hogan theme song, right? By Rick Derringer. I am a real American. That one? That was a great song. That came out, let's see, I had that tape, Superstars of the WWE and their theme songs. That was 1982, if I remember right. I think I was 12. It was right after he was in Rocky 3. Top 10 defense, Super Bowl. I think it'll happen. You know what? I'm going to say this right now. We had the 22nd scoring defense, 27th, or no, 29th passing defense, um, and the second run defense. I will be happy if we get into the top 15. I don't have my expectations on the top 10. If it happens, fantastic. I'm great. My realistic expectation is I think somewhere between 12 and 17 is where we should end up. And I'm just saying because that's a meteoric rise to go from 29th all the way to 10th. And to be top 10, that means both of them have to be in the top 15 at least. If we get to 12, we will have a top 10 defense overall. But if we're at that 17, I'm looking at in the top 15 as an overall. But if we had a top 15 defense last year, we go all the way to the Super Bowl and win. Think about that. We lived and are living in the best lifetime era of all history. Dark ages is a you're absolutely right. The dark ages versus the age of enlightenment, which was right after that in the medieval times when they first started to become enlightened individuals. That first part, the medieval times, it was rough. The dark ages were way better prior to gunpowder, is what I'm talking about. Once gunpowder was introduced and that we started making the mass weapons we made, at first there was no laws about it. It was lawlessness. People were just attacking people, and countries were attacking countries for no reason whatsoever, other than to do it because they had the firepower to do it. While techno- while technologically we are so far advanced, we're actually regressing mentally as a country, though. In the 80s, America used to rank in the top 10 in mathematics, the top 20 in reading comprehension, and in the top 25 of countries. And there's well over 100 countries out there for science. In 2006, you know what those rankings were? We dropped to the 26th in math. We dropped to the 32nd in reading comprehension, and we're in the 40s in sciences. It's because people don't study. They just get their answers off of Google and Yahoo and Bing and all the search bars. They just get their answers. They don't research it. They don't learn it. They're not taught the same way we were back in the 70s and 80s. And it shows in Common Core, the Clinton education system that was passed, it's god awful. And that has nothing to do with a Democratic or Republican thing. It's just an awful way to teach. It's all probability and statistics. There is no exact science anymore. They say, you know, my son did the work and showed that it was right. He said 15 minus 5 is 10. And they said, no, you're supposed to go to the next closest 5. The answer would be either 5 or 15. What? I said, but 10 is got 5 as a denominator. It's right. I am I am proud to be an American. I am proud of our country and everything it overcome to become a country. I am proud of those who have died fighting it. I am proud of those that are still alive who fought for it. That woke shit. Yep. And I don't want to get into that side of it. Common Core math is how they pick top 5 college football teams. I love it, Paul Jones. That's funny. Well, now they got to pick 12 to go. I'm going to will it make a bet right now. You're going to see at least 2 Big Ten teams, 2 Pac-12 teams, and 4 SEC teams in the college football playoffs this year. That's just off the top of my head. That's my guess. And the other 4 will be at-large mid-major conference winners and the championship of the ACC mid-level conference. Just saying. I doubt we see anybody from the winner of the 2 Pac. But Gun Guy, it is great to see you here again because I haven't seen you here for a minute, but I ain't stopped. Never will I stop. But this was the off-season grades by another podcaster who's on Instagram, and I want to show this. And I kind of disagree with the Khalil Sutton and F minus. It's kind of not possible because F is the bottom, and I've never heard of an F minus, but they gave it to Cam Sutton. I get it. But A's for Hutchinson, Aleem McNeil, Brian Branch, and Melifonwu. Your B plus was Kirby Joseph. I think it should be A minus. He had the same stats as Kyle Hamilton last year, who was the 4th best safety by PFF. The B minus for Jack Campbell, I had it more of a C plus. Benito Jones and Romeo Aquara, giving them a C plus, I think is off. I think it should have been D's. Khalil Dorsey should have got a C because technically he shouldn't have been on the field as a UDFA, and he made the field and actually provided on special teams. And I kind of agree C minus / D plus for Kendall Vildor because unlike a lot of people, he was playing the ball, he missed the interception, and that was the lunkiest ball bounce that a 2-inch tip of a football off of a half-inch piece of metal steel wrapped in rubber coating could have had. considering there's two seams that run right through the middle of it at that point. Does anybody disagree with what I'm saying for grades? I still think Michael Badgley must have stolen the thumb drive from Will Harris and Benito Jones, the ones they were having to keep their job to be the only turds on the roster. I think that's how he got his re-signing. Is he stole it off of one of them, and that's the thumb drive that had the video of AG keeping his job with Dan Campbell. Just saying. Oh man, anybody feeling like hearing an old man sing? 'Cause this is one of the days that's worth singing. Laughing my ass off on Badgley analysis. Don't get me wrong, and Badgley actually had a decent season. I just don't like the guy. His longest kick is indoors, and it's 54. Outside, he struggles past 40. Yes, they have King SJ. They're doing quite well. They're doing quite well. So Cam Sutton filed for an appeal on the 10.5 million guaranteed part of his contract because technically he was on the roster on the day. Just couldn't trust him. Yep, I get it. Hmm. Does anybody know the real reason why Jake Bates missed his last field goal in the playoffs? I find it interesting. I hope he's okay. He rolled his ankle when he planted his foot to kick because his foot slid. But I'm pretty sure they already put him through a physical. If he wasn't going to pass the physical, they wouldn't sign him. That's my only take on it. Who do you got winning the kickoff battle this year? Jake Bates or Michael Badgley? Because you know it's going to be a battle. We're probably going to see both of them all preseason just to make sure. Unless somehow Jake Bates is totally manhandling him in training camp as far as accuracy and length that he can kick. We all know he's got a leg. He's got to work on it outside. Thank God Allen Park is outside. Maybe it'll help him get better. Yeah, I think it's Bates that's going to win for sure. I'm sorry, you don't have a guy that practices from 70 yards out and doesn't quit till he makes three of them. It's like Steph Curry and his Corey Patterson in the building. What's up? Good to see you, my man. Happy birthday, America, to those just joining. I don't think it matters who our kicker is. I like Bates, but don't think MCDC will change his aggressive style. I think on those ones that we took that are longer than the average fourth down try, the ones that we failed upon on different occasions other than the playoffs, I think those are the ones we might actually try the kick then if we had a guy like Bates. The fourth and sixes, the fourth and eights, the fourth and 17s from the middle of the field. You got a guy that can kick it down the middle, and don't forget, Jake Bates didn't miss indoors; he only missed outside. And we play 14 games indoors this year. It's kind of a big deal if you think about it. We play 14 games indoors. One of our outdoor games is in October, and that's at Lambeau, also known as Ford Field North, since Dan Campbell's been here. One of them is Chicago in December, and I almost automatically think that's a loss because of Goff's track record in cold weather. But the last one is a toss up because we go to San Francisco. It depends on who's healthy in that game and what it means in week 17. Because if somebody has the first seed sewed up, the other team's not trying. That's just my opinion on it. And I don't automatically give the first seed to San Francisco this year. And I don't automatically give it to the Rams or Seahawks either. I don't even give it to the Cardinals at all. I think they'll be good enough to possibly win 7 to 9 games myself. I do too. I'm gonna love rubbing it in because I'm feeling patriotic today. Very much so. A song that I heard while seeing this background one time. It's not even our Star Spangled Banner. It's the other one that I think should have been the national anthem. You know, oh beautiful, full spacious skies, o'er amber waves of green, full purple mountain majesties, above the fruited plains. That song, America the Beautiful. Because you know what? Our country really is beautiful. If you take a chance to travel and drive and look at the countryside as you drive through it, it's an amazing place to be. It's one of my favorite songs about our country. I remember back in my DJ slash karaoke host days, I DJ'd a 4th of July cookout at a VFW hall. And they asked me to sing the Star Spangled Banner because it was about an hour away from the All-Star game or whatever it was. And they didn't have it on the karaoke machine. We didn't have it. So I sang it a cappella. I was watching 50 to 70-year-old men tear up as I sang. And that's when I knew I could sing okay. I was uh, 24. Because singing through a mic with effects where you can put a touch of reverb on there to smooth your voice out, you know, that's not the real singing type stuff. The real singing is when you've got no band behind you and you're just singing from your heart. So if you can go see a parade, Hatter's House, yes. Happy 4th of July. You just missed me doing the first stanza of America the Beautiful because I do love this country. I have been as far west as Oklahoma City, as far north as Canada, as far south as Florida, and I've seen a lot of this beautiful country. Oh, that's awesome, Hatter's House. I hope he had a great experience there. I saw one of the reels that St. Brown made on Instagram. It looked like those kids had an amazing day. Pardon me. I gotta look up something because I want to remember this. There's a kid that plays for the Arizona Wildcats at wide receiver this year. Taterio Tateria McMillan. Keep an eye on this kid. The circus catches he was making at the indoor facility was redonkulous. He literally left. What's the topic today? America. What we find beautiful, what we find wrong. What are we cooking out? What are we, or are you just barbecuing? What are you doing today? Uh, I asked the same topic that we talked about earlier on Kurt Steele's show. What non QBs would we miss most on this roster in case of injury or something other devastating? Other things I don't even want to mention happening. But happy Independence Day, happy 4th of July. Be a new watch back. Yeah. I said it's 7th is what I saw. It depends on whose list you look at through PFF. It averages out to be 7th overall for wide receivers alone. Our tight end room is in the top 10 as well. Our O line is number one overall, two to some people, but I say it's number one overall. Our defensive line, according to PFF, ranks fourth. I couldn't believe it. They rank our D line ahead of Philly because Philly just lost Hassan Reddick. They just lost 19 and a half sacks off, or excuse me, 15 and a half sacks last year off of their defensive end room. Oh yeah, it is awesome. People keep saying we need a wide receiver, but we're ranked highly, a lot higher than everyone even realizes with just what's on the roster. And I think it's amazing. Our running back duo, our starting duo, is considered the best starting duo in the league. As far as individual running backs, the best running back in the league is Christian McCaffrey. But with him being on the cover of Madden this year, and it's been about 8 years since somebody's been hurt, it might not be good for him. What bucked the trend was putting 2 retired Lions in there at the time. The one year they put Barry Sanders for Madden 20, and then on the old Madden 25 for the 25th anniversary edition, they put Calvin Johnson. Ooh, boy, getting tired. I'm glad today's, uh I'm glad today is this type of day. I woke up to an American breakfast, sausage gravy with mashed potatoes, and it was amazing. Woke up, had a huge cup of joe. I've already had a Mountain Dew down my gullet. About to grab another. I'm also going to drink a lot of water because it's a long day. America. Remember that? You guys ever used to watch Robot Chicken on Cartoon Network at night on Fridays or Saturday night? They'd have Sam Elliott in the background. And they'd show uh Christian McCaffrey, other than the 2 years was injured, has been a top running back almost every year. The one year he was injured was when King Henry went off. The other year when he was injured, Josh Jacobs went off. He's been in the top 5 his entire career when playing a full season. It's their O-line, it's the player he is. He was great coming out of college. I said I wanted us to draft him back then when he came out of Stanford. I'm not gonna lie. I was crushed he went so early. I can't show this enough. That's what today's about. The red is the blood that was spilt on the battlefields of the Civil War grounds. Those stars each represent a state in this union of states called the United States of America. The blue represents the land. The white is for the sacrifices made. These colors don't run. They have flown over this country for 248 years now. And they just, yeah, he's not one dimensional either. Yes, we do need to vote. That is our only civic duty we have. If you are registered to go vote. If they tell you you don't have to show your ID, show it anyways. I disagree with illegals having the right to vote. I disagree with not having to show your ID and present your voter's registration card at the time of voting. Mostly because of something that AOC said on C-SPAN when she first got into Congress. I'm just wondering why illegals get a visa. Can't they get a MasterCard too? Or have a choice? That was when I knew she ran as a Democrat. That was when I knew there was some things going on. I thank you all for watching. It's time to talk about our sponsors. We all know the favorite one. I know we have, and I know it doesn't pay me a dime, but it sure is fun to say it. FTP. It's fornicate the Packers for the pride. Put it in the chat. Give me an FTP. Oh, it has been such an amazing experience talking to each and every one of you, every Lions fan, Bears fan. I don't care where you came from. I enjoy talking to you. I enjoy intelligent banter. Um, thank God I was born in 1970, Brent. You got a couple revolutions around the sun on me. That's all I got to say. FTP. File transfer protocol, as James Burgess likes to say, forever. Last night's NFC, AFC, and NFC North reviews on the roundtable talks was amazing. It was such a great show. Um, it's not very often where the content actually takes us all the way to an hour and 49-minute show, but it was amazing. Um, it, it made me proud seeing that many people watching us all over. People from all over watched us last night, and it was great. But thank you for coming in. My other sponsor, of course, is Brandon Service right at the corner of Grand Traverse and West Atherton Road. We got used tires starting at $40. New tires you have to call to get your quote from us. 810-233-8230. That's ask for George, Red, or myself. Yes, and it's located right here in Flint, Michigan, where the tires are good, but the water's shit. I hope you all have a very blessed and wonderful 4th of July. I hope you remember what this was for. It is about the birth of our country. It's our country's birthday. Yeah, I go in here shortly. I hope I make a little extra money too, but that don't matter to me. What matters to me is I'm still able to do it. But thanks for watching, everybody.
Sports Network broadcast. You can find us on Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV, Facebook, and of course YouTube. Get all your NFL news here first.